All right, let's dive into the one question that seems to be on everyone's mind if they're even thinking about buying a home right now. It's a question that's packed with excitement for sure, but also, let's be honest, a whole lot of anxiety. So, is this it? Is now the moment to make what's probably going to be the biggest financial decision of your life? It's a huge, huge question. And the answer? Well, it's definitely not a simple yes or no.
And hey, if you're feeling a little bit lost or overwhelmed by it all, trust me, you are not alone. The real estate market over the past few years has been nothing short of a wild ride, and it's left a lot of us feeling, well, a little bit dizzy.
Okay, so to figure out where we are now, we've got to take a quick look back at that roller coaster. Understanding what just happened is kind of the key to figuring out what might come next. I mean, it's been a total whirlwind, right? We had the crazy buyer frenzy back in 2020, thanks to those historic low rates. That led directly to 2021, the year of insane bidding wars, where people were waiving everything. Then rates shot up, and we got this lock-in effect, where sellers just stayed put. That, of course, led to buyer fatigue in 2023. But the important part is where we're headed, into what some are calling a new balance. A market that's a little calmer, with more options and way less of that frantic energy.
You know, it is so easy to get caught up in the daily headlines and the panic of the moment. But this right here is the perspective that really matters. When you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you see that even with all the ups and downs, the long-term trend for real estate has historically been up. It's such a powerful reminder to think beyond just today or tomorrow. So this leads to a really crucial idea. Maybe, just maybe, we've all been asking the wrong question. Instead of trying to perfectly time the market, which is pretty much impossible, what if the real focus should be on the one thing you can actually control? You, your own personal readiness. We can really break this down into three core pillars. First, are you financially ready? Second, what does your own personal timeline look like? And third, and this one's just as important, are you emotionally ready for everything that comes with owning a home? Let's talk numbers, because you better believe the lenders will be. They're looking for that stable income. And of course, savings for your down payment and closing costs. They're going to look really closely at your debt-to-income ratio. Basically, how much you owe versus how much you make. And your credit score is huge. That's what gets you a good interest rate. But honestly, the biggest question is for you. Have you really calculated the total monthly cost? We're talking the mortgage, sure, but also taxes, insurance, and yes, the money you have to set aside for when things break. Okay, next up is your timeline. And this number is so important. Generally, you want to plan on staying in a home for at least 5 to 7 years. Why? Well, it takes time to build up equity, and frankly, to cover all the costs of buying and eventually selling the place. Homeownership is really not a short-term game. And last, but definitely not least, is emotional readiness. This is the stuff that goes way beyond just writing a check every month. Are you prepared for the water heater to break on a holiday weekend? Are you ready for the constant ongoing maintenance? And on a deeper level, are you looking to actually put down roots, to become part of a community? Because that's a huge piece of the puzzle.
All right, so you've gone through the checklist, you feel pretty good about where you stand financially, your timeline works. So now we're back to that central dilemma. Let's really break down the pros and cons of jumping in now versus holding off.
Okay, let's lay it out. If you buy now, you get to lock in today's price, and you start building your own equity right away instead of paying your landlord's mortgage. Plus, you have way more power to negotiate than you did a couple of years ago. Now, on the flip side, if you wait, yeah, interest rates might come down, more houses might come up for sale, but you're also taking the risk that prices keep going up while you're waiting. And you have to remember, trying to time the market perfectly is almost impossible. I absolutely love this saying because it just nails the modern strategy for buying a home. The idea is you focus on finding the right house, the one you love in the location you want, the one you can see yourself in for years. That's the marriage. The interest rate, well, that's just what you're dating. It's important now, but you might be able to refinance it to a better one down the road. You marry the house, but you only date the rate. So where does all this leave us? What is the actual answer here? Well, after looking at the market, your own finances, and your life goals, it becomes pretty clear that we just need to reframe that big question we started with. The biggest takeaway here, the most important shift in thinking you can make, is realizing that the ultimate question you should be asking yourself, it isn't what you think it is. It's not when is the right time to buy, it is are you ready to buy? See, the perfect time to buy a home isn't some magic date on a calendar that an expert can predict. It's a personal milestone. It's that moment when your finances are solid, your timeline makes sense, and you are truly ready for all the responsibilities and the rewards. So the only real question left is, are you?